say about that half is it's a miracle we're only down a goal.
Who else? LAFC, they punched their ticket into the playoffs after a win against RSL. Let's take a look at these highlights, huh?
I mean, it's Matchday Central presented by LAFC just about every week, but that's what you get when you're this good. They are on track to set the record for points per game, goals per game, goal differential. They're at plus 42 goal differential.
Matchday Central headlines.
I mean, this is it's kind of amazing how good this team has been. As I said in the earlier highlights, they went down to 10 men at the start of the second half, playing at RSL, team that beat them in the playoffs last year. Hottest team in the league. Didn't matter, Bobby. Didn't matter.
Didn't matter, because check this out. They are now the earliest team to clinch a playoff spot. Atlanta was that holder of that title of last year. But it just seems like every week there is a new sort of milestone that they're reaching, which is insane. And speaking of milestones, how about Carlos Vela? I mean, who's going to beat him in the MVP race? Nobody.
Nobody
right?
should.
Nobody should, because look at this.
He's having the best single season in MLS history. My previous vote went to Sebastian Giovinco in 2015, or Carlos Ruiz in 2002, I think has a claim as well. But it's Vela now. He could end up going for 30 goals and 20 assists, which is nuts.
Bananas.
And you know what he offers? He offers what Miguel Almirón gave Atlanta United last year. It's not just that he can beat you in the final third. It's the fact that he can beat you at any moment. You could be attacking. You can have a corner kick. You can be about to score, but Carlos Vela can always turn that opportunity into an LAFC chance in 3 seconds.
Okay, so they break this record. They're going to win Supporters' Shield. Carlos Vela is the clear MVP. What else can we possibly say about this team?
That's a conversation we were actually having. We were trying to have before when we were doing the rundown of the show, because it feels like we have said this over and over again, and because they've been that good. But what it comes down to for me is in the playoffs, it's a different ballgame because everybody's locked in. Everybody's playing that hard. Everybody has been scouting you for a year, and you need more than one match winner. And it's got to be this guy. Dama Diamande was the match winner at RSL in this game. It's his through ball, which is one of the best passes of the week, and then he gets the icer as well. Is he good enough to be the second best player on an MLS Cup winning team?
Are you just going to ask the question? You're not going to answer?
No, I'm looking at you, and you're studiously avoiding eye contact.
I think he does have the ability. I had a chance to see him up close in Norway, and he was fantastic. He could do everything you ask of a striker, and you've seen that ability in moments in Major League Soccer. The concern is he hasn't been consistent. What I worry about with the Dama Diamande is that he's almost too complete of a striker to play the functional role that Bob Bradley asked for his team. You look at a player like Diego Rossi on the left side. Diego Rossi's only job is to run at goal and to score the through balls that Carlos Vela provides. Adama Diamande has a defined role in this system. My worry with him is he wants to do more than that, and he has to struggle to say, I'm a complete player, but I'm also just going to do my role within the system.
I understand what you're saying, but I actually think because Rossi provides that straight up direct play, speed-based play off the left wing, it actually allows them to have a more multifaceted center forward. And maybe that's kind of why Christian Ramirez didn't work for them. And Diamande at times has elevated them to a level. Because you know what you're getting from Vela every week. You know what you're getting from Rossi every week. You pretty much know what you're getting from that midfield every week as well. When Diamande comes in and he plays like he did against they're hitting levels I don't think I've ever seen an MLS team hit. He's going to have to be that in the play. You want one more thing to say about LAFC? He's going to have to.
You guys are talking, and I'm like,
answer your own question.
I don't believe that he's going to be good enough. I think they're going to get found out in the playoffs.
Well, okay, well, let's talk about it.
You just gave me the field versus LAFC. I'm taking the field.
Let's get to the playoffs right now. So if you are LAFC, what team are you hoping you will not face? Bobby, we'll go to you first.
So they didn't win tonight, but I'll still take Portland Timbers.
Okay.
We saw what happened in Open Cup. The Portland Timbers stifled LAFC, and we've seen now when LAFC played the Timbers in Open Cup, when they played the LA Galaxy a few weeks ago, that if you disrupt this team through the midfield, if you make it hard to play through the middle of your defense, LAFC struggle a little bit. They don't want to be beaten up. They don't want to be roughed up through the midfield. They're a little susceptible to counterattacks, and there's no team better than that in the league than the Timbers. What we saw again tonight was that the Timbers can't be the aggressor. They cannot be the protagonist in a game, but they're still the team to beat when they're allowed to sit deep and hit you on a counterattack. So it seems clear to me that LAFC do not want to face this Timbers team in a single elimination.
Doyle.
I mean, there seems like there's one team in MLS that they don't want to face. And granted, Carlos Vela has scored some goals against the LA Galaxy, but it's been the other guy scoring goals who, look, LAFC does not want to face this team in a big game. It's been regular season games so far, and the Galaxy have just made it a joke. Like, no matter what happens in the game, it's the Galaxy who come out with the scalp. And, like, I think you're right, just in terms of what happens on the field. Portland is the worst matchup, but, like, there's no way LAFC want to see the LA Galaxy come out.
LAFC may not want to see the Galaxy, but that's definitely a playoff matchup I want to see. Gosh darn it.
Gosh dang it.
Gosh dang it. I think that'd be a heck of a lot of fun. Okay, so there is a tweet that Mike Donovan sent out that said, this is nuts, you guys. The current gap between first and second in MLS is 13 points. The current gap between second and 18th is 12.
Yeah.
So there's a bigger gap between 1 and 2 than between second and the rest of the field. That's nuts.
We've never seen this happen in MLS. This feels like what PSG does every year in France. You know, it feels like what the Celtics been doing in Scotland for, you know, the better part of a decade, or Juventus in Serie A. We've never seen anything like this, and it's why we lead this show with them just about every week, because nobody's been in their ballpark.
Yeah. Okay, so who is the second best team in MLS right now? If you had to pick, who would it be?
Going into the weekend, I was going to say NYCFC, and to be fair, NYCFC had a good game, but they lost James Sands. He broke his collarbone, which is probably going to rule him out for the rest of the season. And Atlanta keeps doing the stuff that they did tonight. In the past month, they've played 8 games. They've won 7 of them, including against Club America, which it was a great win. Their only loss, 4-3, at LAFC. I think they're the second best team in the league right now.
Okay.
That was very unconvincing from you.
Yeah.
Very unconvincing.
Yeah.
I'm going through my notes, and I'm trying to pick a team, and the only answer I can give, and I will say your uncommitted nature makes me feel better about this, is a hard nobody. That there is no good second best team in the league right now, especially when you look at the state that LAFC is in, that they're way up there, and to even say anybody is even close to be a second best team. Atlanta United has been fine for the last 3 or 4 games. NYCFC were good to fine for 3 or 4 games, maybe Philadelphia, but there is no consistently second best team, and we should lay that gauntlet to the rest of the league. That's the standard. That's what you want to be. You want to be the second best team. Get even close to that for more than a month.